Live from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Climb aboard for Opsail 2000.
Live team coverage of this grand event starts right now. Everyone, and welcome to our live team coverage of Opsail 2000.
Oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. And how about this view down here? Is this terrific?
It's gorgeous,
or what?
Isn't it?
Sunshine is out. We got a nice breeze to cool things off just a little bit. The scenery is spectacular. We're going to bring it all to you over the course of the next hour and a half. We're going to start with the Parade of Sail a little bit earlier today. We'll even give you a little history of how Opsail came about. Throughout our coverage, look for the descriptions of all the tall ships as they're viewed from locations all across Hampton Roads.
We'll also tell you some of the best ways to get around and also some of the other festivals that are going on around Hampton Roads. First, though, you probably take a look behind us and you don't see a whole lot of the ships behind us. So where are the ships right now?
There are a few down here. In fact, this one is the Pride of Baltimore, which if you've ever been to the Inner Harbor up in Baltimore, you may have noticed before. The Parade of Sail started this morning, though, off of Fort Story. It moved in towards Norfolk, Hampton, and Chesapeake.
That's right. So you probably think by the information we just gave you that probably the best seat in the house is on the shoreline. The best seat in the house just might be on Chopper 10 2000.
Without a doubt, our new chopper took to the air this morning. Our Ted Oberg was up there. He's been there all day. He brings us the bird's eye view. Ted.
Big ships in the water off Hampton Roads are nothing new. After all, we see the Navy's toys all the time, but not very often sailing side by side with tall ships from around the world. Chopper 10 2000 treated us to the best views of this 12-mile parade all day. This is Chilean ship Esmeralda with 4 masts and a huge flag. Right next to it is Ecuador's Guayas, and right up the coast to Delaware's Kalmar Nickel, the Coast Guard Eagle from Connecticut. We even picked out my colleague Carter Evans along the way.
And let's zoom out a little bit. This has been a spectacular ride up the Chesapeake Bay here. You can see several boats that come out to meet us as we're leading this wonderful parade.
Chopper 10 2000 is the best way to see everything that came into the Hampton Roads ports this morning. So good, this kid flipped when he saw us. You gotta know, 10 on your side has Opsail covered.
It's actually kind of neat out here, too. Opsail 2000 covered a lot of ground, a lot of shoreline, too, as it came up the East Coast.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much.
We're getting new information all the time.
Yes,
hand
we
delivered
are.
to us here. Thank you very much for that. Hampton Roads is only one stop along the route. Let's take a look at it for you. The 150 tall ships in Operation Sail 2000 actually began their journey in San Juan, Puerto Rico. They then continued up to Miami. And then, of course, here in the greater Hampton Roads area, where they'll stay until Tuesday. From here, stops will include Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York City over the big July 4th weekend. That's going to be a big one. Then on to New London, Connecticut, and then finally on to Portland, Maine. As you saw Ted Oberg's report earlier, leading the way today was a Coast Guard vessel, the Eagle.
You probably kind of wonder what it's like to ride on one of these ships. Well, Carter Evans got the opportunity. He came up from Miami on one of these ships. He's right here in Town Point Park right about. Carter, what's it like?
I've got to tell you, it was an absolutely awesome trip. There is nothing like sailing aboard a 300-foot tall ship by the power of the wind, just the power of the wind moving this gigantic ship along. But there were days when there was no wind at all, but there was still a ton of work to do aboard this ship. Ah, the serenity of the sea. Day 3, 165 miles off the coast of Georgia. The Coast Guard Eagle slowly drifting north toward Norfolk. The ocean is calm. It almost looks like a lake out there. And the sails, barely a breath of wind to fill them. The silence only broken by the sound of a power sander. Hey, just because there isn't any wind doesn't mean these sailors can slack off.
We pride ourselves in being the best ship, and that's what we're doing right now. You know, we got a lot of work to do.
He isn't kidding. There are rails to sand, parts to clean, and parts to paint. This is a very big ship to keep ship shape.
You don't imagine when you're out sailing on a tall ship that you're also like scrubbing the toilets and sanding all the wood and stuff like that. That's not what you think of, but that's what you spend most of your time doing.
And when they're not sanding and varnishing, they're training.
Check the boat first.
These cadets are learning how to fight a fire at sea, just in case.
A shipboard fire while you're underway is the worst thing that can happen. So if it does happen, we want to be prepared for it and be able to put it out.
Yes, it's just another lazy day aboard Eagle, miles from nowhere, with a boatload of chores.
It makes the time go by. You know, if you didn't have a lot of work to be done, I think we'd all go insane with boredom.
This is such a big ship. There is so much work to do aboard this ship that it keeps these cadets busy almost all of the time. In fact, Les and Alvita, earlier today, even in this heat, they were down below painting the anchors.
The job aboard a ship that size never really ends. Carter, thanks for that. Great trip. If you're just a little bit jealous that Carter got to spend time aboard, don't be. You can actually go aboard these ships. Public visits are available beginning at 6 o'clock.
That's right. Tonight, the visits are from 6 until 8 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, you can go aboard the different ships from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m.
And the same times apply both Sunday and Monday as well before the ships head out again. All right, what is this all about anyway? How did OpSail begin?
We're going to give you just a little bit of history on OpSail. Right now, OpSail, Operation Sail as it actually is called, was started by President John F. Kennedy in 1961. It's meant to promote cultural ties and understanding among countries through sailing programs and training.
It's a huge nautical event, and it certainly doesn't happen every year. The last OpSail was back in 1992. That marked the 500-year anniversary of Columbus's discovery of America.
But you probably already realized this, that to enjoy OpSail up close and personal, you got to be down here.
That's right. City of Norfolk, in fact, all the cities in the area have been working for a long time, a couple of years, in fact, on a transportation plan to make sure you can get down here safely and as easily as possible with all the people we're talking about, from parking to ferry service to shuttle rides. Shuttle buses are the way to go. 10 on Your Side is covering all the bases tonight. Our Meachem Nabazad has a look at some of the potential trouble spots and how to get around them. Meachem?
Les, Alvita, I'm out here at Harbor Park, and this is considered the main transportation hub. There's a couple different ways you can get out here. Take a look at this map. The two other transportation hubs are Military Mall Circle and Thomas Nelson Community College. From there, you take a bus to get here to Harbor Park, and then you're only one short ride away from all the fun.
The next one's Maine and
Bus driver Alice Bundy has been very busy today. She's making rounds from Harbor Park to Waterside, and there's always a crowd waiting for her arrival. Many of those taking advantage of this service are glad they did.
We parked at the Harbor Port parking lot, caught the net bus here, went to the Harborfest, and came back. Now we're ready to go home.
Some of those who didn't take the shuttle ran into some problems with trying to park on the street.
We're lucky.
Parked illegally
I know
right now. Are you looking for a parking space?
I'm looking for a parking space.
Well, what are you running into out here?
Problems.
There were less problems with parking at this deck on Waterside, which remained open throughout the day.
We are actually surprised we got a space so close.
No problems at all?
No problems at all.
Did you consider taking the shuttle service or anything?
We did, but the way we came in, we passed there and said, let's give it a try.
Parking in the decks worked out for them, but many didn't even want to chance it and took the shuttle.
some of the people were a little disappointed that their bus from Military Circle didn't take them directly downtown.
Like this person who wasn't as happy with the bus service.
In years past, the bus took us right straight down to Waterside.
Yet most were very pleased with being able to take the shuttle.
You have a lot of people in town. You have a major event like this. There's a lot of coordination that has to go on something like this. And I think this whole community is doing fantastic with that.
Now, with all that's going on downtown, you want to keep in mind some of the traffic patterns. There's some road closings that you need to be aware of, including the Waterside area around City Hall and St. Paul's Boulevard from last night till Tuesday. Also, the Brambleton area from tonight till Tuesday morning. They will have a lot of those streets around Botetourt and Woodis Avenue closed. For more information on these traffic patterns or how to catch these shuttle services, you can log on to WAVY.com. Les, Alvita?
Okay, Miriam, thanks for that. Miriam mentioned some of the road closings. Let's find out what else is going on out on the roadways.
Yeah, Frank Turner is over at WAVY Traffic Jam Cam Center. Frank, it's probably a little bit different on the roads than it is down here, huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you, y'all definitely have the best seat in the house down there. Right now, we've got traffic as in Portsmouth. Let's talk about that right now. Traffic a little busy and some of the streets blocked off around Portsmouth, but so far traffic there not looking too bad as you make the move around Effingham, London, Crawford, and County Street for the festival in Portsmouth. Those streets are closed off now until 7 o'clock on June 19th. Just a quick reminder, the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel looks steady westbound, but about a 20-minute delay eastbound. I'm Frank Turner, the Wavy Traffic Jam Cam Center.
Okay, Frank, have a good weekend. As you can imagine, with an event of this size, planning took many, many months, in fact, a couple of years, especially by the United States Coast Guard.
It sure did. An expectation of the congested waterways throughout Hampton Roads this weekend. The Coast Guard has decided to send out hundreds of members of the patrol of the Coast Guard in order to patrol. As a matter of fact, some of them are actually right around us right here. They want to make sure that everyone is safe and everything is smooth sailing on the waters. By the way, that was a surprising case this morning during the parade of sail.
There doesn't seem to be a large amount of boaters out here, not as many as we anticipated, but we did prepare for a large amount of recreational boaters to be in the area, and we were ready for it, and that's the important part.
Because that's something we tell everybody, like, I'm very familiar with that.
Of course, the calm morning allowed the Coast Guard crews to enjoy the parade of sail from their vantage point. We'll give you a better look at that, plus more on their preparations coming up on WAVY News 10 at 5:30.
Police have also been heavily involved with planning for this event, and they're getting some backup from the FBI.
Yeah, we understand that the security from the Maritime Festival is on scale, probably of the president possibly coming to town. Any troubles today, though? Let's hear from Ava Hurdle and her story.
Hi, Alvito. We're live at Outer Berth, and you can see in the crowd that there is a strong police presence here throughout Town Point Park. Now, we found police and cruisers today around the perimeters of downtown Norfolk, also on bikes patrolling Harborfest activities. They're assisted by the state police and the FBI. Norfolk police say they have things covered.
Another Harborfest as far as we're concerned, just a little bigger. We got a lot more people out here. We've got numerous people off duty and on duty out here. We have people that are detailed from the specialty divisions out here. The bicycle units from the other sectors of the city are all detailed down here for this today.
Now, police are doing double duty, working overtime to keep this festival covered, this international event. Les Alvito.
Okay, Ava, thanks. And we should mention that the crowd is starting to build, and so far everybody seems to be having a good time. There are certainly no problems to report as of right now.
So far, we hope it stays that way.
Absolutely. Head on down. Don't go away, though. We have a lot more coverage of this historic event for you.
Andy Fox is out in the crowds. He's going to tell us more about what they thought of the parade of sail coming up in just a few minutes.
Alvita, it was a tremendous day down here in Town Point Park, and this was the last place to see the parade as it came by. The preps for that coming up right after this.
Volvo for Life is proud to sponsor WAVY TV 10 as your Opsale 2000 news and information station. You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5. Live from the station on your side.
Well, as you can imagine, it's pretty hard to watch all 150 ships at one time.
Although a lot of people tried, there were crowds gathered in Virginia Beach, in Hampton, and Norfolk to try to catch a glimpse of these. In fact, it took hours for all of them to sail by. Our Andy Fox was out and about with the crowd today watching. He has their reaction for us. Andy?
Les, I got here at 4:30. The first person I saw show up came here about 6:30. The parade finally came here at 11:30, and 3 hours later it was over. But you know what? This is what Hampton Roads is all about. You've got all the pleasure craft out here. You got a Coast Guard ship there, and you've also got the tall ship in the background. A lot of police presence as well. They've now opened up the river, so if you have a boat and you want to bring it down to the Elizabeth River, you can. We were here when the preparations waiting for Operation Sail 2000 got underway. Security tight, Coast Guard looking at us as we're looking at them. A good wind kicking up Upsail 2000 still upriver. We found Antonio Neto of Chesapeake, hometown, Porto, Portugal.
I used to be aboard the tall ship. Sagres is coming, the Portuguese tall ship.
A lot of pride for you, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It's been 20 years now.
He sailed on the Sagres, a beautiful tall ship, in 1982. Worked the second sail all the way into Hampton Roads. He saw this Portuguese flag and followed it down the dock.
Yeah? Is there Portuguese on board?
No Portuguese, but Leo and Sandy had sailed to the Azores. He's from Portugal. He followed your flag.
Yeah.
And then we found Levi and Lauren, thrilled to be at Upsail 2000.
That they come from all over the world and they're like really old, and that there's going to be like 500,000 people here.
This is where they all saw Operation Sail come to fruition. All those years of planning, this is where they were standing. Coming up on Wavy News 10 at 5:30, what they saw. A special report as our coverage for Operation Sail 2000 continues. Les, Alvita, Don, all back to you.
Okay, Andy, thanks very much. Well, I don't think we could have asked for a much better day. First of all, for all the people who wanted to come down here and watch, it is a little on the warm side, but every once in a while you get the clouds roll in. And we've had a breeze that's been fairly steady throughout the day. Don Slater is going to join us here. We're going to get him all wired for sound. As he's going to bring us the forecast. We'll find out if it's going to be like this throughout the weekend.
We're kind of hoping so, mainly because we came down a little bit earlier. The wind was blowing so much, I thought the chairs were probably going to move away out here.
But we got the mic on.
Yeah,
and I'm wired in.
I like this breeze. I tell you what, it's cooling things off a little bit.
Yeah, it really isn't too bad. And actually, when I came in, it wasn't too bad as far as the traffic either. And the people traffic wasn't too awfully bad. It wasn't that awfully crowded yet. So come on down and enjoy it. Nice breeze out here. Let's go ahead and have a look at anything that might wreck our breeze out there. Let's have a look at Super Doppler 10 to start things off. We have been talking about a ever so slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, and there's not too awfully much out there in terms of any rainfall. There are a couple of scattered showers that I can see, but again, not too awfully much more than that. And we are looking again at a slight chance of an evening shower or thunderstorm, but not too much more than that. Let's have a look at our Super Doppler 10 radar network and be able to show you what's going on there. And again, there's not been a great deal of rain going on. Southeast or into northeast North Carolina, a few scattered showers, but that's about it. Let's go ahead and have a look at our current conditions. And frankly, I cannot see them off of my monitor, but I am assuming that it's partly cloudy and around 90 degrees.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
Does that sound good?
91 and 90 on the peninsula.
And I can feel a, there it is, 91, then 90 on the peninsula. I can feel a breeze out of the south to southwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour. So again, very pleasant actually along the water's edge here. Taking a look at our forecast, you can kind of read it for yourself here just a little bit. We've got a boat going by, so I can't see the forecast. It's partly cloudy. Overnight low temperatures between 70 and 75 degrees, I'm assuming. And I've had a real good educated guess on it. And for tomorrow, 90 to 95 degrees and a southwesterly wind at 15 to 20 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies, a slight chance of a shower or a thunderstorm again during the late afternoon, heat and humidity. Now Sunday, perhaps a slightly greater chance of rain, but basically we're looking pretty good throughout the weekend. Better shot at some rain on Monday, but we're done with it.
Okay.
Sounds good to us.
Yeah, it really does. You know, normally when we talk about Harborfest or the Seawall Festival, we're just talking about here in Norfolk and across the river in Portsmouth, but this year we've got events on the peninsula as well.
And you can't imagine, Krystle Meachem actually got up close and personal with a pirate named Blackbeard. You want to see more about that coming up in just a moment.
Welcome back as we continue our live special coverage of Upsail 2000. Les Smith and Alvita Ewell. We're down here at Town Point Park in Norfolk, but this really is a regional event. There are activities going on all across Hampton Roads, including on the peninsula, where a lot of folks gathered at Fort Monroe today to watch the tall ships sail by.
Some of those ships are actually going to be staying in Hampton so that you can get an up-close and personal look at them. But I understand that Krystle Meachem actually got an up-close and personal look at maybe some pirates. Come on, Krystle, is that possible?
A vast matey.
I think I've seen a few pirates going on around here. There's a lot of stuff happening in Hampton, and of course the biggest thing, obviously, is the Upsail events. In fact, I am aboard the America. It is a beautiful, beautiful ship. In fact, she is known for her beauty, her strength, and her speed. This particular ship can go up to 20 knots, and we understand that most sailboats only go to about 16 knots. So she is well known for this. There are a lot of people also that have come to take tours, and this is one of the ships that was in the parade of sail and that set sail earlier from Fort Monroe. We're going to take you to a little video of earlier today. The tall ship sailed over the Chesapeake Bay around 9:30 this morning. It was a beautiful, beautiful sight as many of the ships had cadets perched on the mast, commanding the full attention of just thousands of spectators who had converged on Fort Monroe to get a glimpse. It's an event everyone there really seemed to enjoy, including the kids, who had their own take of what the ships reminded them of.
Yeah, I think they're cool with, like, everybody thinks that they're like pirate ships, but sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not.
I think it's amazing. It really is. You think of the history on this point, this point here,
There used to be ship battles out here 150 years ago.
And it really, truly is amazing. I mean, there's a lot of history in this, again, aboard the America here. If you want to come down to Hampton, and of course we've told you just all over Hampton Roads that these ships that were in that parade of sail, all those beautiful pictures that you've seen, they're all berthed now, and they are tours that are open. You can come on down here in Hampton and come on the America till about 7 o'clock tonight. Then it's open again for tours again tomorrow. And Les Alvita, it is just, it's absolutely beautiful.
It looks like it is. Thanks, Krystle. I can't believe she really did meet some pirates.
You never know who you're going to run into at these op sale events,
I guess
do
she
you?
found some unusual people. We do want to let you know, though, that our Op Sale 2000 coverage doesn't just stop with 90 minutes of news today.
That's right. We've got some special coverage for you. Stay tuned for a 1-hour special on WAVY News 10. That's from 7 to 8 tonight. We'll have all the day's events, wrap them up for you, and also give you a look ahead to what else you can enjoy this weekend.
And tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, join us for a 1-hour special on our sister station. That's Fox 43. Of course, coming up, another check on your op sale forecast.
And we'll tell you how you can enjoy op sale and keep it safe at the same time.
If you're planning on coming down to see the tall ships, what do you need to bring and what do you need to leave at home? I'm Thomas Roberts. We have an op sale do or don't survivor kit for you coming up tonight at 6 o'clock.